the campus of Rowan University in Glassboro, New Jersey, the GCEN presents high school football. This afternoon, it's the Group 3 championship as the Wall Crimson Knights host the Delsea Crusaders. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my friend Frank Delano. A beautiful afternoon for football, cold, crisp, windy day, somewhat overcast. Tremendous location once again here at Rowan. Really looking forward to a great game. Of course, two teams that have earned their way to get to the championship game. Wall, a relative newcomer, although they're the one seed, typically playing out of Central Jersey. They have never won a South Jersey title. Delsea, on the other hand, a four-time consecutive state champion, looking for number 5, a team that's very comfortable here. Both of these teams, tremendous running teams. But when you talk about Delsea, I think the first thing you talk about is their tradition.
No doubt about it. And again, it's Coach Marquez in his 24th season here has Delsea right where they need to be at this time of year down at Rowan. You look, this is Delsea's 17th title game. 17th title game, looking for their first 14th title. And you can trace this one back to 2012 when they started this run against a good Northern Burlington team. Then they defeated Barnegat, needed overtime to defeat Allentown with a touchdown by Rashad Williams, their current fullback, and then last year's victory over Camden. You look at them on the field, you know, traditionally they've been a 50 front. Now all of a sudden this year they made a little transition defensively to an even front. Today I think you might see a little both, a little mix. Maybe keep Wall a little bit off balance. And offensively, again, you know they're not going to throw the ball much. If Coach Marquez doesn't have to throw the ball once today, he'll be happy. And again, they might just be peaking at the right time with wins over Seneca and Burlington Township. 14 days to prepare, that's a lot of time to prepare for this game, especially for Coach Marquez and his staff.
Well, one kid that didn't have a lot of time to prepare is Keelan Bourget. As he came into the season, he was a starter last year at the safety spot. It took him a little bit of time to get ready, but he got hurt in the beginning, came back game 5. They're a new team ever since.
Yeah, they really are, and it's here we are. Last year, you and I are standing in the same spot, and we're going to sit there and we're talking about a young man last year who threw the ball 26 times all year. Well, and that was Quinn Collins. Well, this year we're going to do the same spotlight, same Delsea team. However, we're going to talk about Bourget, who. You look at his numbers, they're not going to wow anybody. He was what, in terms of throwing the ball, he's 3 for 11. 3 for 11 throwing the ball, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, but however, you look at the way he orchestrates his offense, they ask him to do a tremendous amount with their midline option, their true option, their wing T stuff. He's got to get formation set. However, you look at him carrying the football, 52 carries, almost 500 yards, almost 10 yards a pop. You know, and you throw that in the mix, that's why they average 32 points a game at this point and have amassed over 3,000 yards and 40 scores on the year. So again, with Bourget in there, it's a little bit different. And then you put that mix in there with those 3 backs. It's a dangerous combination, Rob.
Well, as we mentioned, Wall comes into this game as the number 1 seed. Very similar to Delsea in the sense that they like to control the football, they like to run the football. And speaking with head coach Dan Curcione before the game, one thing I was impressed is he talked about the character of the team, the intelligence of the team. That should pay dividends.
No doubt about it. And give Coach a ton of credit here. In 2013, this team was 3-7. And then you look back at his first year, they were 3-7, gained some significant experience. Big upset win, got him, a product of the PowerPoint system, got into playoffs, played this Delsea team. Fortunately, they lost, but it's invaluable. Following year, 4-6. Now here you are, 9-2, and you're 48 minutes away from your school's first title since 2003. You know, it's a pretty great thing. Their staff should be commended. They're playing football at the right time, their best ball as well. Remember, they had 3 games in an 18-day time frame. You know, they had to play Camden, then play Hamilton, then play Thanksgiving Day. You know, hey, Coach and his staff are trying to make the most of this opportunity, their 5th title appearance in school's history.
Well, when we talk about Delsea, they have a tremendous running attack, a 4-headed monster. But Wall, they have one feature man.
Oh, they do, and that's Sean Larkin. And this young man, you put on tape, you watch this kid go, he's a talented player. He's had over 1,400 yards. He's got 600-yard games. He's averaging 135 yards a game. He lines up everywhere. They put him in the slot, they put him in the back. They also lined him up a little bit of wildcat formation. Don't be surprised at that. And throwing to the mix is 23 touchdowns. He's 1 for 1 throwing the ball, you know, for 64 yards and a touchdown too. Game like this, it might just come down to a halfback pass, and when your best player's got to be great, who knows? You might need him to throw a ball today to establish victory.
This is going to be an interesting matchup. 2 teams that really love to run the football. They can almost have a running clock today. It's going to be ground. One thing to keep an eye on, who scores first. Well, Delsea, they're a team that's very comfortable here. But when I spoke to the Wall head coach, Dan Curcione, he said, I'm not worried about that. We are a second-half team, so make sure you stay tuned for the whole thing. We got a great one on tap. Group 3 championship game, Wall taking on Delsea. We'll have it for you in a moment. Welcome back to Rowan University. Delsea versus Wall. Delsea won the toss, has opted to defer. They'll be kicking away. Delsea in the white tops and red pants, and Wall in the crimson tops and white pants. It's almost like an intra-squad scrimmage here today. And we are underway here. The Group 3 championship game. Low line drive taken just inside the 4-yard line. Cutting across, now inside the hash marks and brought down just about to the 20-yard line. First down and 10 for the Crimson Knights.
Brought down by Henry and Fowler for Delsea. It'll be first and 10 for Wall Township at the 20-yard
Well, we mentioned in the open that these are two teams that really depend on the run. Wall featuring Sean Larkin, who is an absolute workhorse, 1,349 yards coming into this afternoon, 23 touchdowns on the year. Last week versus their Thanksgiving rival, Manasquan, had 169 yards and 3 TDs. Would have had more, but they took him out of the game. Working out of the shotgun, their first look for Wall. A handoff right up the gut and a gain of maybe 1.
It's a minimal gain there. They're obviously going to try to get Larkin going early. They just ran in with a little bunch formation there with a tight end on the backside. Interesting enough, Delsea right there in that first snap was in a 50 front, something they really haven't played a whole lot this year.
Their quarterback, Eddie Scott, 48% completion percentage on the year. There you take a look at the replay. So he will throw periodically. I guess the one difference primarily between these teams, although both of them rely heavily on the run, Wall is more apt to throw the ball than Delsea. Second down and a direct snap.
There's a little wildcat formation there, which Wall has shown a bit. Little variety trying to get 22 going.
So gain of about 4, third down and 4, ball at the 25-yard line. Rowan switched over to turf a few years back. This used to be a grass field here at Richard Wacker Stadium. And I think this suits Delsea just fine, a team that really relies heavily on speed. Field conditions will not be an issue. Third down, direct snap again, and now an inside handoff, fighting forward, and ball comes loose, but they rule it as down. They rule it as down, and that'll be enough for the first down.
And that's critical there, because if you have to punt the ball back there, you're sitting, that ball was snapped on the 29-yard line, 28-yard line. Who knows? You don't want to set up Delsea in ideal field conditions, and going 3 and out in the first series is just awful. When you're in this situation, that first down is big, and he's just getting out there. That's a second effort right there. Number 5 comes in, Bourget tries to make a tackle, spins off. Great second effort there. Get the first down for the Crimson Knights.
Kovin Chavis on the carry. First down and 10 for Wall. Again, working out of the pistol, and the handoff, a big opening here, driving forward and cut down at about the 38-yard line. A pickup of about 7, and Wall starting to grow a little bit comfortable.
It was an interesting set there. They first play of the game, they came out in a bunch set. This time they bunched and went ends over, created an extra gap in there and a nice little seam. And if you take a look here, great kick out, and then number 76, their right tackle, horns around. That's Mike Andreyko. They're actually flip-flopping their lines a little bit here in the early going.
It was Keelan Bourget who came away with the tackle, stopping Larkin from getting the first down. A lot of players on both of these teams are two-way players. Second down for the Crimson Knights. And the quarterback will keep, and he'll be just shy of the first down.
Putting themselves in a very, very manageable third down situation here. Third and less than 1, Rob. You have your whole playbook open here.
So Eddie Scott, again, we mentioned that he is apt to throw the ball periodically, but he's not afraid to run it as well. 387 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on the season. So again, a short third down here for Wall. It's a team that likes to kind of give you different looks, and we've seen that already. And Larkin, direct snap, drives forward. He'll have enough for the first down.
They're utilizing this Wildcat set. Obviously, this has been a big part of their package this year. You don't just come into a final now and come in 7 plays, 5 of your first 7 plays are in Wildcat. So they're obviously very, very talented at this. They're going to try to push the tempo a little bit here as well.
No huddle, first down at the 42-yard line for the Crimson Knights. Scott looks to audible. They'll hand it off, and again, Larkin, but not before a penalty flag here. We'll see whether or not, no, it's a timeout, and that will be Delsea's first timeout. Are you a little surprised at the push that the Wall line is giving Delsea?
How about that? Obviously, when we talked to both coaches pregame, this is what they needed to do. They needed to establish the run. Best part about this, in Wall's scenario, Delsea's offense is sitting on the sidelines right now, and they're just utilizing a ton of formations, flip-flopping the offense and defense of their lines, rather, going from strong side to quick side, flipping their right side of their offensive line, then their left offensive line. Multiple formations, various looks. But what's the key here? They're trying to get Larkin going.
I've been doing high school football and college football for 20 years. This is the first time this ever happened. I asked both coaches what were the keys to the game, and each one not only said the same 3 keys, but in the same exact order. We need to establish our run, we need to stop their run, and special teams is going to play into it.
It could. And absolutely, obviously, high school football, probably any coach, you have to establish the run game and also stop the run. But when you get in an environment like this, little nerves, little tension, special teams could be the difference.
So first down and 10 for the Crimson Knights. And again, it's going to be Larkin. Larkin maybe 1, 2 at best.
It was just a little complimentary play off to what they ran earlier in the game when they took that motion them across the formation and went right back to it to try to get a jet sweep to that side. Now a little complimentary play off of that.
They keep showing that jet sweep. Delsea is a team that is so athletic, they are apt to defend that well, but you have to keep them honest as well.
It is. And then they're going to put an element in the gap scheme blocking here where the Q could keep it, and then that's where it poses the problem. Yeah, getting to the perimeter, no doubt. That's playing right into Delsea's hands because they're team speed.
Empty backfield here, and now a man in motion, fakes the jet sweep. Scott rolls to his right. Has a lot of time. He'll throw across the middle. Has his man across midfield. Driving forward, first down. The catch made by Gene Scott.
And Gene Scott is a 6'4", 240-pound tight end. He had 15 catches this season. That's a big-time call. First down. Now all of a sudden you're in Delsea field, Delsea territory. Let's see. Now, Wall, most importantly, they can't get bored on what's working. That was a very good, very well-timed play-action pass.
So across midfield, Wall systematically moving the football here in the opening quarter. It's Larkin. Larkin finds a seam and brought down after a pickup of 8 or 9. One of the things that Sal Marquez said is what Larkin is so effective at is finding that little crease. We saw it right there.
And that's what it was. And that's old-fashioned power football right there. Let's get off tackle. He's not looking to stay inside A gap. He was looking at his crease. You look right here. Great push. Great seal there up front. He just stays inside it. And a nice job out there by Janicek, number 13, a wideout, of being a selfless player and blocking downfield. Wideouts are the difference between 6 yards, 6 points, or 60 yards.
And Draco leading the way as well on the line. This is a team that prides itself on the number of seniors they have, the level of experience, and their intelligence. Scott pushes forward maybe 2 or 3 yards, and that'll be enough for the first down.
Again, that's a power read concept. We have to take a look and see if they're reading that end as the game progresses. But that's just good old-fashioned. How many different ways can we run gap and get double teams at the point of attack? Very, very well called so far in this opening drive. If you look here, that's just old school power right there. 22, there you go, being selfless. Larkin doing whatever he takes to win this football game. Nice kick out on the end. Provided the crease for Scott to get a first down.
First down and 10, deep penetration here for the Crimson Knights. And now the jet sweep cut outside with some space and finally pushed out of bounds. Again, we have seen a little bit of everything. Kovacevic has done a nice job.
He has, and again, he's an explosive guy. He has 550 yards on the year. That's probably the way they're trying to get him the ball, get him to the perimeter. You got a great lead block out there. And Draco, number 76, is a really good football player. We've watched about half of a quarter right now, and he is all over the field right now, leading blocks, paving the way for these running backs.
2nd down and 3. Larkin behind Scott for Wall. Larkin with a lot of room. Larkin breaks a tackle inside the 15, and Larkin will be spotted out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Again, we've seen that Larkin has a little bit of speed, a good nose for the football, but also you can see that he's not going to be tackled just by one player.
No, one guy's not bringing him down, and you just can't compliment enough the offensive line here. Look at the surge that they're getting and the double team. That was probably 4 or 5 yards before first contact, and an arm tackle clearly isn't going to bring Larkin down. Great, hey, red zone, first trip to the red zone, you need to come away with points here.
Well, if you're the Wall coaching staff, you could not have diagrammed this any better. Again, Scott hands it to Larkin. Larkin this time finds very little room. And it'll be 2nd down. Clock continues to move. This is the opening drive, and they continue to eat up clock here. We mentioned that this game's going to go quickly. 5 minutes and 25 seconds remaining and counting in this first quarter.
And if you look, what I think Wall's also doing a real nice job offensively is changing tempos. They've hit you some quick counts. They're in a no-huddle system right now. Yeah, clearly right now everyone's checking their bands, getting their play, making sure they're on point. This is the first time they've been behind the sticks. Everything else has been positive yards on first down.
2nd down and 11. And the sweep inside. Touchdown, Chavez. "15-yard touchdown run, and Wall strikes first."
You can't write that one up any better, Rob. You sit there and you got the ball on your own 19-yard line, 20-yard line, and just methodically move the ball down the field. Great job of using formations, creating numbers advantage. That time they went formation to the boundary, and it left a nice hole on the perimeter to the wide side of the football field.
So on to attempt the point after. Mulreed's kick is blocked. It is blocked.
Special teams. Right. Great drive. Now come up with 6. If Delsea gets the ball back, they go down and score PAT, and there you go. So great opening drive.
Well, we'll see whether that point after plays a role. We've seen a lot of championship games decided by 1 point.
Take a look there again. They overloaded the formation to the boundary, went to the jet sweep to the field, but they're actually pulling their backside G. And again, let's credit number 76, Mike Andreyko. He has been all over the field so far. He's lined up at right guard, right tackle, I believe, and left tackle. Basically find 76 and run behind him. Great strategy on the opening drive. Now what I think is going to be interesting as we watch this game, how are they going to adjust? Because all year they were basically in an even front. Now they came out in their 50, and the first drive goes 80 yards for a touchdown. Now let's see, do they go back to their 40? How are they going to handle all these unbalanced formations?
You saw penetration right up the middle.
That was an A-gap penetration. You got to make sure you're securing that A-gap, and everyone's got to be stepping down. Here we go now. How does Delsea respond? Again, we talked to the coach about scoring first. He said it wasn't a major priority, but it's a whole lot easier to play with the lead than it is to play chase.
Well, if there are any nerves from Wall, they're gone now. And Mulreed will kick a squib, picked up at the 26-yard line and brought down at about the 40. So Delsea will start with outstanding field position. That gives you a sense of Dan Curcion's mindset that we are not going to allow them to have special teams rule the day.
No, you can't, especially because Delsea has multiple kickoff returns for touchdowns. They have punt returns for touchdowns. They have a really electrifying backs back there that are first and goal backs. And in that situation, let's be honest, kickoff return, it's the first play of your offensive series.
Well, we mentioned Keelan Bourget will be a key today. 497 yards on the ground coming into this afternoon. He did miss some of Delsea's season, as mentioned in the open. The first handoff is Williams, and Williams is stopped after a gain of 1 or 2.
No surprise. They're going to try to establish the run, try to establish everything through the fullback. That was just a basic belly. Williams is the guy with a ton of experience. He comes into this game with 2,900 career yards, and 29 touchdowns. And as we mentioned in the top, where Bourget is, he's at 52 carries for 497 yards. But he's the one who's the orchestrator. As this game progresses, let's watch midline option. I think that could be a difference in today's game.
One of the factors with Williams is not only is he fast, he's exceptionally strong. And we'll see that play out before the afternoon is over. The handoff right up the gut, and again, absolutely nothing there. A fine stop made. That's Darren Baum.
That's a great play, and now this is perfect for Wall. It's a perfect scenario. You can stop this for a 3 and out. Now you have created all the momentum. Let's be honest, Delsea's not going to flinch. They've been here a ton of times. A 3rd and 7 is not where they want to be. 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. This is a team that threw the ball again 33 times all year. Hey, that's 7 more than last year at this time. So you never know. Last year, if you remember in this game.
Yep.
There was a waggle that was hit on a 3rd down conversion when the tight end catching a crossing route here. Don't be surprised. You got to pull one of these out early.
That really changed the complexion of the game last year, and I think that was the key. So we'll see whether or not Bourget can hook up via the air if, in fact, they do throw the ball here. 3rd down and 7 for the Crusaders. Bourget keeps, and Bourget is absolutely collapsed upon with maybe half a yard to speak of, and Delsea quickly is going to be 3 and out.
Ran a little option there. It looked like a little double option. I don't think the fullback was even a factor on that play. I think that was just merely a token just to create some presence in there. He is, and he's pulling. That read is number 37. He's got to make that pitch. And there's some daylight there for the tailback, which was number 2, Samil, coming in motion.
Janizik back to receive the punt of Delsea. He's at his 21-yard line. Kick is a low spiral, bounces at the 25, taken at the 19. Janizik still on his feet, and now cut down at about the 33. A fine return by Wall, and this Wall crowd is electrified by what they've seen thus far.
And if you're not excited over that hit by Ryan Collette, number 44, you probably shouldn't be in attendance today. That is a phenomenal play. Great job there by Janicek. That's a 10-yard difference at least if he lets that thing roll. He possesses the ball on the 20-yard line. He returns it for about 12 to 13. Instead of having the ball now and you're inside your own 10-yard line, you got the ball to plus 32, or to minus 32, and you're ready to go.
Well, we're looking at 2:23 left here in the first quarter, and Delsea has only touched the ball offensively 3 times. Again, if you could sketch out a game plan how to beat Delsea, that would be it. Larkin with the direct snap pulls his way forward for about 2. I think that first drive was just so important to this Wall team.
It is. I understand that the team from 2014 who played Delsea, who lost 42-0, these kids barely remember that, and so to speak. There's a lot of seniors that have gone, but it's a confidence factor. We can play with these guys. You look, they brought in their parade, all their championship banners. Now all of a sudden you delivered the first punch.
2nd down, we'll call it 8. Scott, hands off again. A lot of room for Larkin down the sideline. And he'll have more than enough for the first down. And if you're Delsea, you have to be a little concerned.
You do. Right now they're imposing their will on them. And it's actually taking a page out of their book. Great lead block there by number 4. That was McNally, just to pave the way and really take care of the edge and seal the edge. Everything appears right now, except that touchdown, to be coming almost to the boundary, and coming to their bench. So you guys got to be mindful of that. Now Delsea overloading to the boundary and then getting exposed to the field.
Scott again, and he'll hand off Shaviz. A lot of room. Shaviz busts it through and cut down at the 37-yard line.
Exactly what we're saying, just pre-snap, right? Really getting conscious, the formation to the boundary. They did that same exact thing. Tight end here, twins here. Now you got jet sweep to the field. Now all of a sudden, bam, you're sitting right back in Delsea territory. It's an awesome play. It's the same play as a touchdown. Again, great lead block. I love the way Larkin's playing. Selfless. He doesn't care if he's getting the ball. They want to be a champion at the end of the day. Great job up front as well.
Dan Curcione had a little concern about not facing the wing T. It looks like Delsea's the team that's relatively uncomfortable at this point. Scott hands to Larkin. Larkin dances, and he's cut down after about a gain of 1.
And one of the things on the sidelines now, you just got to kind of Control the emotion. Everything's right there because, again, sometimes emotions get the best of you. Stay within yourself as the play caller. Continue what's working. Don't get bored and don't chase ghosts. Don't keep doing this until they stop it. Your first 15 may have 15 great ideas, but if the first 4 are working, how about we stay with it, right?
2nd down and 9 for Wall. Look at the clock here. Inside of 40 seconds, and Delsea will have only touched the ball 3 times if this continues. Wall content to own the football and just try to dominate offensively on the line. And now we're going to have a timeout called. This time it's going to go to Wall.
Exactly. Again, just get everything right. You're not in a position here to make a mistake. All the momentum right now is on your side. Right now, if you even watch this field, everybody's in. You look at their safeties, they're 7 yards. 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. So at some point, you might want to think about taking a shot. However, stay within yourself. 2nd and 9, you are in great shape right now.
Are you surprised at how things have evolved thus far?
What is your best? Your best defense is what? A great offense.
That's right.
So all the concerns that Coach Curcione had before the game, we got to stop their offense, got to stop. Well, if their offense only ran 3 plays, and here we are, we're the waning moments of the first quarter, and you have 3. You're in good. Yes. You're watching Wall up front and just physically dominate Delsea. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I've seen Delsea play multiple times. We played against them 2 times. I have never seen what I'm seeing right now live against Delsea.
It was interesting in speaking to a couple of the Delsea coaches prior to the game. They weren't very excited about this past week of practice.
No, and you know what? Sometimes you do play the way you practice, but again, it's a 4-quarter game for a reason.
Yep.
And they have a very proud program, and I think they'll be okay.
2nd down and 9 for the Crimson Knights. Again, it's Larkin. Larkin finds a seam, drives forward, and Larkin picks up a big chunk there. He'll be about 2 or 3 shy of the first down. Larkin, 1AA kid. Coach mentioned Bucknell would be a good fit for him. Been impressed so far.
Very impressive. Very impressive. Great first quarter. Larkin has been great. Andreako's been great. Wall has just had the ideal start.
Well, we're through 1 quarter of play. Wall Township missed their extra point, but they lead by 6 over the Crusaders of Delsea. It's your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. Welcome back to Rowan University. 3rd down and 2, and Wall. Look at that. They pick up Larkin and still push. Unbelievable. I tell you what, these are the little things that will really motivate a football team. This crowd is electrified.
That was a 3-yard gain. It turned into a 9-yard gain with the 2nd effort and 3rd effort in the team and the band of brothers that were just pushing him. Right now, Wall is 3 for 3 on 3rd down. But the key is everything's been manageable. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. And now, almost a yard, basically this time you're in the red zone. You need to walk away here with points.
1st and 10 at the 20. Scott keeps. Scott drives and picks up about 3.
Take a look at that. That's a big 3rd down right there. We're showing you right there. Look at that 2nd effort. You have everybody. You got the team picture basically pushing him and aiding him. It's a team that was hungry. They want to win a championship. They know that was the perfect first quarter. They got a lot of momentum.
I don't even know that I've seen that before. It's like they were carrying him off as he was the prom king. I mean, literally off of his feet. Have you ever seen a guy gain 5 yards off